Good evening. So today we're going to be looking at a few Games Workshop payslips, real life payslips. I know, really weird, curmudgeonly stuff. Now, just so I can get a boilerplate disclaimer out there, these are from a few years ago. The dates will be on the payslips that you're about to see. There is information blurred out because I'm not crazy, right? I'm not about to let you see my tax information, my national insurance number, my real name. Certain email addresses are blurred out because I'm not having you seeing Games Workshop email addresses. I'm not here to harass anybody. I'm not here to have a go at anybody. I'm not even here to say whether Games Workshop's pay scale at the time of recording or at the time of these payslips is fair or not, right? I'm answering the question, or trying to answer the question, do you think you could live on these payslips? Now, that isn't a smear on Games Workshop. It's not going after the company or anything like that. It's literally me just trying to get to the bottom of whether you think and I think, if we look at the amount of stores that are in the UK and how much money they bring in, whether this is a payslip that you can live on, or whether you should be getting more per month, as the case may be. So, again, this is not a smear on Games Workshop. This is retail across the board. Absolutely across the board, right? And I do not know how much Games Workshop pay their staff at this moment in time. As far as I know, they addressed this years ago, right? Like, I only stopped working for them like in 2018, right? So they could have addressed this ages ago and gotten this done in 2019, 2020, or even this year, right? But all likelihood being, in retail, pay tends to trend downwards, not upwards. And I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. It does tend to trend downwards and not upwards. So the first thing I want to show to you is... Boom. This is an employee, a Games Workshop employee payslip. Alright, this is a staff member, a normal staff member. You're not a manager at this stage. You're a normal staff member, and you are on a normal salary. This is a monthly salary, and you can see after tax, we are left with £719.57. This is the reason why, the main reason why, as I've said to you before, guys, if you're going to work for Games Workshop and you're not going to be a manager, you have to be doing so when you're not paying rent. This could be where you are living with a friend who is very kindly letting you not pay any rent. This could be when you're living with your parents. This could be when you're living in student digs, right? Any one of those times in your life, this is the ideal, perfect job to get yourself some pocket money and get you through a certain amount of time in your life. Now, whether Games Workshop will want you at that time in your life, when you have hardly any experience at anything at all, is a question in and of itself. I would say the best way to get a job like this is to go to a Games Workshop store, get to know the manager, and make yourself indispensable. Every single time he needs someone to do something that you could be trusted with, volunteer and do it. Do it well, do it first time. Become a support member of staff, so whenever they are off work, you can step in and run the store. That means whenever they do get the opportunity to get any sort of employee, your name will be on the top of their list if you apply. That would be my way of doing it. The way that I got my job is that I'd finished university. I was woefully overqualified for the job. I applied for it and said that Games Workshop working for them was my dream, and it was my dream. And I hit all the right notes, all the right bars, and I got the job. But it was only as as a Games Workshop employee, and you can let me know if 40 hours a week, right? 40 hours a week, £719, call it £720, let's round it up. £720 of somebody with a first class degree in classics from Durham University. You can tell me whether that is a sort of paycheck that you want to be getting at the end of your working week, at the end of your working month. Now, do I think that anyone else was at fault for me getting this wage? No. No, I made the decision to go and get this kind of money. I made the decision to go and work for this company under this kind of money because I thought, quite rightly, it turned out, that I could get more money than this. by working hard and being a good employee. Now, the couple of months, well, the time that it wasn't a couple of months, Jesus Christ, it was going on a year. The time that I was working for as a store member, it was a very stressful time. I had a boss who was very demanding, very unfair, very top down, typical middle management who is desperately trying to essentially justify their own existence, right, by having underlings and ordering them around. We ran a very tight ship, ran a very good store. I'm not going to say that wasn't the case. It was, certainly was. It was a very, very good store. If you spent money. If you didn't spend money, it was a terrible store. But again, that's kind of the point. You know what I mean? He wasn't running a youth club, as he used to say. Right? He's running a store. He's running a business. He has to make money. Now, this is the unfair part. Every single week in that store, we would hit around £1,200 in sales. Okay? And around £1,200. And every now and again, we would hit way above that. We would hit like 1,500, something like that. So let's call it 1,300 for the sake of the argument. Right? 4 weeks in a month, it's 4,000. So that's 5,200 that we're making pre-tax from the store. I can only imagine his pay was around 1,500. So we deduct that off. So now we've got 3,800 or 3,700, give or take, right? We'll go with 3,800 for the sake of the argument. And we have 2 staff members, right, who are on 720. Right, let's call it that, 720. So that's 1,440. So deduct 1,440 from 380. So 340, 240. So £2,400 Games Workshop are making from this store, right? Every single month. Just bang, straight up. £2,400. Straight profit. Okay? So, from this store, £2,400. Now, in terms of revenue, they're making... Excellent. So, £2,400 after everything's finished. Now, considering for 40 hours a week, we are on our feet, we are running around the store, we are putting together models, we're cleaning display cases, we're engaging with customers, we're doing training. On a Saturday morning, we had to get there super early to do quote-unquote training, which consisted of us sitting upstairs in the storeroom while our manager had a whiteboard out and was teaching us how to be leaders. Yeah. So you can, if this is up to you. I'm not telling you whether this is fair or not, but do you think it is fair for the 2 staff members to be taking home £720 a month when they're doing all of the work in the store? Okay? Alright? Our manager oversaw us doing the work. He oversaw us doing the work. I cannot stress that enough. Right? And you can say that's what managers do. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not saying he was paid too much. Because I was a manager, right? I'm not saying he was paid too much. What I am saying is that I think we were paid far too little. But that's my opinion. I want your opinion. Do you think £720 is enough for someone to live on? Because let's not forget, I moved for this job. I had savings, and I knew I made a gamble. I knew I could go and basically become a manager pretty quickly. But I gambled. Okay? But £720 a month is a hell of a stressful thing to have coming into your bank account when your rent is nearly £500 a month. Right? So that leaves you with £220 a month. Then your food, let's be honest, right? We're all big boys or girls. We're all hobbyists. We like food. Let's call it £200 a month you're spending on food, which is a low amount, by the way. That leaves you with £20. Let's say you've got to take a bus to work. Right? That's at least £50 a month. Now you're in minus 30. You're spending money to work for Games Workshop if you're living in your own place. And that's before we get into any other, gas, electricity, anything like that. Right? Childcare costs, anything like that. You're spending money to work for this company if if you are a normal staff member and you are living not if you're living somewhere where you have to pay life costs, where you have to adult, quote unquote, right? All right, so that's how much you're getting paid. As you can see the date there, in 2016, that's how much you're getting paid. This is a random pay slip I pulled out. That's how much you're getting paid as a Games Workshop employee working Games Workshop at that time in 2016. All right, let's move on. Because I didn't just stay a Games Workshop employee, just running it from there. No, in fact, I became manager. All right, let's have a look at this. So this is the management pay scale at Games Workshop. Again, random pay slip, just picked out. It is the 31st of the 1st, 2018, right? So, obviously I've blurred out some email addresses. I don't want people harassing people, because I know a lot of people who are on my Discord and on the channel, who watch my videos, are very reasonable people, but people on the internet are not wholly reasonable. Hobbyists, least of all. So, before tax, we are getting paid £1,352.92. Decent amount, right? Decent amount. I think so, right? Out of that, we have our pension coming out, we have our taxes coming out, and national insurance coming out. Fair enough. Stuff paid into our pension, lovely, okay, cool, excellent. National insurance paid, yearly to date paid, excellent, right? So after all our deductions, we are on £1,193.37, right, per month. Now, my store was smaller than the store that I was working in, right? My own store was a lot smaller. So I would make around, let's say, £800 to £900 a week. Let's just say, right? Now, you're going to see how bad I am at doing maths. So, 800, let's call it 850, because it's between the two numbers of 800 900, times 4 equals 3,400. Right, so we've got 3,400 coming off that we are making at Games Workshop. We're making this, a one-man store is making £3,400 a month, right? Now, let's minus my pay, £1,193.37. Bang. So this Games Workshop store is making £2,206.63 per month, every single month, right, at this store. Now, I will tell you, if you've seen any of my other videos, you are contracted to work 40 hours a week. You do not work 40 hours a week. You work 60 hours plus a week. Because you are not just dealing with the day-to-day running of the store. That's your 40 hours a week, is your day-to-day running of the store. You have to plan events. You have to plan where you're going to go in your projects in the store. You have to plan how to get people into the store in the first place without advertising. Remember, you're not allowed to advertise your Games Workshop, right? So you have to work out how to get your people into the store. Okay? And then we have all of the cleaning and the maintenance. Okay? And the store inventory. All of the things that go on behind the store. You're working 60 plus hours a week. That's 20 plus hours of unpaid labour every single week. And for that, you get £1,193 and Games Workshop get £2,206. Now, I'm saying now, right? I'm honestly, this is my honest opinion. I don't think that's enough to live on either. All right, let's do the maths. So, £1,193.37, right? Minus, because now I've moved, right? I'm not living in a little dinky one bedroom place anymore, right? I've moved, and I'm living in a one dinky bedroom place in a place where there is a Games Workshop one man store. £650 a month is coming off in rent, right? We're left with £543, okay? £200, same as last time, is coming off for food. £343, all right? Getting to work every day, Okay, we're looking around £150 a month. Whoops. Ah, shit. Oh, I'll do that again. £2,206, 63 pence. Minus 650. Minus. Wait, no, that's the Games Workshop. Oh, for God's sake. I'm such a I'm not going to say that word. Uh, £1,193 and 37 pence. I nearly said it. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is such a stupid thing. Come on, go away. Go away. Do you know what? Bollocks to it. Right. £1,193. This is what you tuned in for, isn't it? 67 pence, right, okay. Minus 650 in rent. Right? Equals, okay. Minus 200 equals, okay. Minus 150. Getting to work? Yeah. Bang. Alright. 193. Okay. Minus bills. So these are things like electricity, gas, internet, phone, modern day things. Let's be honest, modern day things you're going to need to run the house. Let's be kind and call it 120. Let's be kind. Right. You are left with £73 and 37 pence. Let me say this to you right now. All of those numbers will fluctuate. And they will fluctuate in the upwards direction every month. It's just how it goes. It's just how life goes, right? Everyone who's run their own home knows this, right? They will fluctuate in the upwards direction. As a manager at Games Workshop, in a one-man store, you are taking on all of the stress, you are taking on all of the responsibility, right? All of the extra work, and you cannot afford to do the hobby that you're selling to other people. Right? You can't afford a hobby. You don't have time to do a hobby. Games Workshop manager. Right? You don't have time. If you have staff members, you have time, and you have extra income too, because your income goes up depending on the store that you run. If you're running a store with staff members, that means it's a bigger store, you're getting a bigger paycheck, and you're doing less than half the work. Okay? So that's the dream. That's the job you want. Running a one-man store is akin to bashing your head against the wall, saying, yes, please, thank you, sir, and doing it again, month after month after month after month, on your own. Imagine turning up to a store in the morning on your own. It's cold, it's December, you're away from your family, they're gearing up for Christmas, and you just want Christmas to be over with because you're done with it, right? You look at your bank account before payday, and you have £20 in there. You can't afford anything. You can't afford to get anything from the store, to do anything. So you're on £73 a month to enjoy, and that will trend downwards. Let's call it 50. I've got 50 quid a month. If people say, hey, do you want to go for a drink? You can't afford it. People say, hey, do you want to go to the cinema and see other human beings? You can't afford it. Right? People say, hey, do you want to go on holiday? You definitely can't afford it. Right? Okay? Simple thing like going for a pint. You can't afford it. You cannot afford it. Okay? That's wrong. As far as I'm concerned, that's wrong. Okay? So let's do some more maths. Right, I'm going to switch the screen off for a minute so I can go online. Right. How many stores? Games Workshop. Stores. Number. United Kingdom. Right. This should be publicly available. 138 stores are in the UK. Alright? I'm pulling you back in the room. 138 stores are in the UK. So, my store was a middling to smaller store. Okay, we're talking about £2,206. Let's round it up. 2,500. Let's call it. After tax. After everything's been taken out. After my salary's been taken out. 2,500 is what they're getting, right? Right? times 136. Alright, so Games Workshop is making around £34,000, okay, a month from stores in the United Kingdom. Now, that is me being kind, because I know Games Workshop stores in London, Liverpool, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle, Birmingham, big city stores will earn 8-9 times what I was earning. Okay, so really we could bump that up by another 150. We could easily do that. We could easily do that. So plus 150,000. Okay, so if every store was like mine, they'd be earning 340,000. In reality, they're earning closer to 500,000 a month. Again, so let's times that by 12. Right? Call it 6 million. £6 million in the UK. Right? A year. For that's just retail revenue. Okay? This is just one country. Right? It's not even the biggest market. It's like the fourth biggest market the Games Workshop apply their trade to. Right? The others being the United States. It actually has two markets in the United States, and they're 1 and 2. All right. Asia being the third. All right, and then UK is quite a distant fourth. So this is all the information that I wanted you to have. £1,193 in 2018 is not enough to live on. All right, it's not enough to live on. I don't know what the pay is nowadays. But for a company to be making £500,000, give or take, a month, and they have 130 stores. Let's make that. So you're looking at 500k they're paying, right? 500k they're getting in a month. Let's say every manager's getting paid the same as me, all right? So 1,193. 37 times 136. Right. So monthly, around about, they're paying £1,162,298 and 32 pence, roughly, a month to the managers. Right. So, what's the difference? 500,000 minus 162,000. Oops, I don't need to do that, do I? £208 and 32 pence. Whoa, that's millions. What are you doing? .32. Right. So, Games Workshop every single month is making, call it 350 grand. We've been doing that the entire time because things trend upwards in retail, right? So, and I realise this is retail across the board. It's getting the maximum amount of effort and everything from your workers without giving them what they actually deserve. Okay? So roundabout Games Workshop, after paying all of their wages, are making around 350 grand a month from their stores in the UK. All right, so there's a sum that we've taken from my own store's revenue, okay, timesing it by 136, and adding 150 grand onto that as a differential because I know the number is far above that because most other stores were bigger than mine. And by the way, adding 150 was a very conservative amount as well. I really should have added around 400 to 500 grand, but I didn't. I wanted to keep it low just so you can see, even now, the disparity, right? So, 337,000, call it 350,000 a month that the Games Workshop are making in the UK. Right? Let's times that by 12. Equals around 4 million. Okay? Do you think that Games Workshop employees deserve a bigger slice of the pie? I certainly do. Right? I've thought that from day one. And I don't mean the managers who already have, 2 or 3 people doing all the work for them, beneath them. I mean the lone soldiers, the guys out there who are busting their asses, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to work, right? To work at a 12-hour day most days, to help out the hobby, to build the hobby, to make sure you have models to buy, to make sure you have people that you can play at tournaments, to make sure you have people there who can teach your kids how to play Warhammer. You have people there to make sure your hobby isn't dying. You have people there filling up the bucket that has a million holes in the bottom of it. Well, the people who are pouring the water into the bucket, the hobbyists, the people who are pouring the water into the bucket to make sure the hobby doesn't die, are the Games Workshop managers in single-man stores. Okay? They're not given what they deserve. Or at least they weren't. And any retail economist will tell you pay in retail tends to scale down as years go on. It's immoral, it's not right, but that's what it is. Okay? So those are the pay scales at Games Workshop. I hope you found this really entertaining. Again, this was not, and I repeat, not a slander on Games Workshop, okay? I happen to think if your life is in the right area at the right time of asking, you can do some amazing things at Games Workshop. You could really pad out your savings. You could really pad out everything that you need to make a success of yourself in life. And it's something great to have in your CV. But do not go into Games Workshop expecting it to be the career, especially in retail, that's going to carry you over to the rest of your life. Because I'm telling you now, if you think it's any different in the studio, if you think it's any different anywhere else in Games Workshop, you would be appalled. Right? They get paid sometimes a lot less than retail people. Okay? They have to work less hours, true. Right? Because we have to work 60, 70 hours to get our stores up and running, whereas they work 9 to 5, generally. But at the same time, I'm sick of the attitude of, well, you're working here, that's a privilege in itself. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've worked in everything. I have been a bricklayer's apprentice. I have been a barman. I have been a bar manager. I've been a lawyer's assistant when I was 17. Right? Working long hours. And then working in a bar afterwards. That was the hardest job I've ever had. Being Games Workshop store manager. And it was the most miserable I've ever been. That early 2018, I got close this year to that. I got very close to early 2018. Well, that early 2018 period is probably one of the darkest in my life. You know, it really was. It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice at all. I was very close to the edge. You know, I've only been past that once, and if you've listened to the channel, you know when that was. So again, not a slander on Games Workshop. Please don't email them saying, giving them shit for all this. But what you can do is make sure that they're aware. In fact, what am I saying? If you are going to email them, do email them. Do it politely. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of here. Sorry, my brain's frazzled. If you're going to email, if you're going to say, hey, I don't think what you're paying your employees is correct, then fine, do that. But please do it in a respectful way. Please do it in a way where people are going to listen. If you go there beating your chest and crying and rending your garments, as a lot of people in the hobby tend to do, you're not going to change anything. They're just going to plug their ears and say, la, 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 Guilliman's the best. Right? That's all they're going to say. So please, if you really want to affect change, and you really want your store manager, if you have a hobby hero that your store manager who's helped you out and works on his own, maybe you've got some sort of an appreciation for what he or she goes through now. Okay? For you and the hobby. They are people in single stores, for the most part, are amazing folks. Just amazing. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. I've finished. I'm all done. I hope you enjoy the video. It's the longest one we've had on Games Workshop Stories. If you like what I do, the Patreon description is down below, and if you want to have a chat with us, the Discord is also in the description bump down below. So if you want to buy me a beer, head there. Patreon. If you want to have a talk to me, down there in Discord. Thank you very, very, very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.